What do you do when you want to help others through their grief, but you're still struggling with your own? Well, let's walk together and I'll show you why it's important to be selfish when you're grieving. Stick with me. Hi friend, welcome back to Grief Questions Answered. I'm Eric, and it's my goal with these videos to share everything I've learned about how to survive, find support in the loneliness of grief, and how to intentionally get back up and live beyond the loss of your loved one. If this grief tip doesn't help you today, I am confident it can and will help you at some point in the future, so be sure to save this video to watch later on. And if you haven't done so already, click that subscribe button down below, as this is one of the best ways to get notified of new videos just like this and to show support for the channel. Let's go ahead and dig into today's question, and it comes from Joy, who asked me the other day, how do I help others? She also goes on to say, I am not that great at empathizing. And so while she wants to help, she's really struggling here. Here's the thing. Grief is a really powerful experience for us in life, especially after the loss of a loved one. And as a human, our natural inclination is to want to help others when they're in pain. But that desire to help can come with some challenges. When I lost my 15-year-old daughter Zoe, I wanted to help her friends and my family navigate those really hard moments, but I was struggling too. And so in this video, I want to share why we need to recognize that helping ourselves heal first is actually not a selfish act, but a necessary one. Now, I'd like to also call out a common misconception about self-care, in that it's selfish. My friend, self-care is not selfish. It's anything but that. When you're on an airplane, flight attendants instruct you to put on your oxygen mask first before assisting others. Why? Because you're then better equipped to help others when you are safe and stable. And the same applies here with our grief. It's an important first step in being able to provide support for those that are around you. It's also important to remind yourself that even though you're focusing on your own self-care, it actually sets a very powerful example for those who are struggling too. It shows them that it's okay to acknowledge what they're struggling with and to go out and seek help, which is exactly what Zoe's friends were doing with me. And so when others see you take care of yourself, it can inspire and encourage them to take their own steps towards recovery. The next aspect of self-care that can be really important to acknowledge here is that grief is really emotionally draining. And it can really make it hard for you to want to help other people, but you just don't have the energy to do it. And so finding ways to become emotionally resilient through breath work or journaling or meditation or just even exercise, all of it can bolster your emotional resilience. And when you're emotionally resilient, you'll have the strength and the energy to listen empathetically and provide that safe space for the others to express those feelings, their feelings, to you. And part of supporting other people is being empathetic. See, empathy allows you to hear and feel what others are sharing with you without it draining your energy. And so it's important to set healthy boundaries for yourself so that you don't get burnt out and that you can maintain your energy. It's so important to do all that. Now, the last point I want to make here is that your personal experience of grief and healing can actually be a very valuable source of wisdom and insight for somebody else. As you navigate your journey, you begin to gain this deep understanding of how complex grief can be, but also how much healing can take place, which actually leads to more empathy for others when you're supporting them. And when you share your experiences and the strategies that work for you, it can be immensely helpful for those who are struggling with their own grief. And if they feel stuck, this is huge. And that's exactly what I did with Zoe's friends. Every time I figured something out that helped me, I turned around and I shared it with them so that they could feel like they had some tools to work through with a similar aspect of grief. And so for you, Joy, it's really important to remember that taking care of yourself is not a selfish act, but rather it's an essential one. When you prioritize your healing, you not only become a source of strength and inspiration for others, but you also develop the empathy and emotional resilience needed to provide that meaningful and support for them. So remember, when it comes to helping others in grief, start by helping yourself first. It's not selfish. It's okay. As always, I hope this helps. Do you have a question about grief that I can answer for you? Let me know in the comments below. And by the way, don't forget to join us for the next Emotional Relief Workshop. Just head over to www.emotionalreliefnow.com to learn more about how you can go from emotionally overwhelmed to grounded and calm in just 90 seconds. Also, don't forget to click subscribe below. Let's walk together, and I'll see you in next week's video.